Hey guys, in this video I'll be adding another mask to my collection. First I start by wrapping my skull in some plastic foil before putting my carnival mask on top of it, so that the mask I'll be making out of paper mache will be big enough to sit on top of my head. Then, after 3 layers of paper mache and some drying time, I will now cut it to size so that it will fit nicely onto my face. Then I will use my carnival mask as a guide to draw in the eyes and cut these out as well. After smoothing out the edges with some masking tape, I'm painting the mask black because of the decorations that I will be using. To start with the decorations, I'm using some wooden beads and black thread to turn them into berries by gluing the thread onto the beads and paint them red with some acrylic paint. Now I need some branches. I will make them by taking some paper and roughly draw a branch on it before going over it with a hot glue gun. When the glue has cooled, I take some toilet paper and glue it on top of my branch with PVA glue to make the painting it easier. So after cutting all of my branches out, I will paint some of them completely black, and some I will dry brush it to have some color variation. Now with my branches painted, all I have to do is glue them onto my mask, in a way that resembles a hairstyle. Then I will add the red berries to those branches. So I'm halfway finished, and what I'm planning to do now is to give my mask multiple eyes. First I put some white PVA glue on top of the mask, then I'm using female clay to make the eyeball and use layers of clay to make the eyelids. When I have done all of my eyes, I will put more clay around the face to hide the end pieces of the branches and make the face look more like that of a tree. Now I'm done with the clay, but as you can see there are lots of cracks showing. So I'm using toilet paper again to hide those cracks and to make the sparkling paste stick better onto the mask. To ensure that the sparkling paste do not crack as well, I'm mixing in some white PVA glue and some white gesso. This will also ensure that the mask stays flexible and less fragile. Now it's time to paint the mask, and like the previous mask I will keep it simple by just using black and white. First I paint the mask completely black and then I dry brush it with some white. Afterwards I paint the eyes red to make them look like the red berries. So after putting some varnish onto my mask, I will now make the straps to make the mask wearable. First, I measure my straps at 24 cm before cutting it. Then after I loop it around a airdryclay loop, I will attach a push button at the end of it and I will glue the other part of the button on my mask with a hot glue gun. That way I can always change the straps if it gets broken, and I will be able to display my mask without it being in the way. And there you have it, my first wearable mask. It was not as difficult as I thought it would be, and I will be making more like these in the future. But in the meantime, I hope that you liked this video, and if you did, then please consider sticking around for the next one. Until then,